He said no, he dropped his bike on it, and he would take care of it. He'd pay for it. So
You dropped your bike on her car, and you never even told her about it. So why should I trust you? You try to hide it from her, you don't tell her about it, and then you weasel out of paying it because it's too much for you at $300. Okay, maybe you shouldn't have them around your things.
From secret scratches to courtroom beatdowns, this house-sitting favor went very wrong. What happens when a trusted friend turns into a one-man wrecking crew? This courtroom drama has it all: betrayal, accusations, and an unforgettable final ruling. Hit that subscribe button for more unfiltered courtroom chaos and brutal truth bombs. It all started with a favor. Kimberly Healy, a golf instructor, had a simple ask: watch her house and her cat while she was away on a 10-week work trip to Asia. Christian Dell, a colleague from the same golf facility, was struggling with his living situation, so this arrangement sounded like a win-win. No money exchanged hands, just a mutual agreement between two co-workers. But when Kimberly returned home, she noticed something was off. A scratch. Not just a faint line, but a noticeable gash under the rear window on the driver's side of her car. She had barely driven half a mile to the grocery store when it caught her eye, and just like that, the trust cracked wide open. She texted Christian immediately.
said, did you drive the car?
The reply? Even more shocking. He admitted that his bike had fallen into her car. He apologized and even promised to pay for the damage. But promises don't pay bills. Christian Dell didn't deny that something happened, but his defense was as flimsy as a broken futon. Yes, he dropped his bike, but he claimed
there was hardly a mark on the plaintiff's car.
Not only did he minimize the damage, he tried to imply that another scratch not his was what Kimberly was angry about. And he didn't stop there. Kimberly accused him of
He broke her futon when he slept on it with someone.
And even of possibly driving her car because
the tires were moved and the lights left on.
Christian's attitude? He was done with the accusations. He insisted he owed her nothing. When the judge asked why he didn't tell Kimberly about the incident at the time, he said,
Now then she'd be emailing me back and forth, how bad, blah, 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 this and that. And
a complete dismissal of responsibility and proof that he hoped the damage would go unnoticed. Let's break this down. Kimberly let him live in her house for free while she was away. Not once, but twice. First for 10 weeks during her Asia trip, then again later in April for 4 more weeks. And what did she get in return? A scratched car, a broken futon, a trail of suspicion. Kimberly acted immediately.
So I went to get an estimate like the next day.
And it was how much?
$386 and change.
She presented the repair bill in court, $386.81. Christian, he said he'd pay in installments, but...
And he hadn't paid you a penny?
No, but I was thinking he was going to save money in gas while he stayed there, so I could get some money out of him.
That gamble didn't pay off, but then tried to argue it couldn't have caused the visible scratch because...
there's a part of the bike that had the rubber.
Wait.
He never examined the damage, never visited the car with Kimberly, and never followed through on his promise to pay. The judge called it out directly.
You try to hide it from her, you don't tell her about it, and then you weasel out of paying it because it's too much for you.
Christian's weak protest?
I wasn't trying to pull anything over her.
But he never told her about the damage, never took responsibility until after she found it, and only responded when she texted him first. That's not a misunderstanding, that's avoidance. In court, Christian's arguments continued to unravel under pressure. When asked directly,
you agree that you're the guy who dropped the bike on her car.
His response?
Well, it's not like I dropped a bike on her. I mean, you make it sound like I...
Trying to deflect, trying to minimize. But the judge wasn't having it. She fired back.
Well, no, I
was
in no
taking
way,
her,
shape, or form meant that you threw a bike at her car.
Yeah.
I mean, you clumsily let your bike hit her car, according to you.
Cornered, Christian offered a single word.
Clumsily, that's interesting.
The judge didn't let it go.
Okay, what word would you use?
And in perhaps the most telling moment of the trial, she laid it bare.
I would be happy to call it just one of those things if you weren't such a jerk about it. You try to hide it from her, you don't tell her about it, and then you weasel out of paying it because it's too much for you at $300.
That was it. No more ambiguity, no more excuses. His actions weren't just careless, they were deceptive. And with that, the judge dropped the final hammer.
$386.81, verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
When it was all over, the judgment had been handed down loud and clear. Christian stood silent in the courtroom. His defense, whatever scraps of it remained, had been torn apart. The judge didn't mince words.
Okay, maybe you shouldn't have them around your things.
Even after the ruling, Christian's attitude didn't change. In the hallway interview, he brushed it all off.
For the defense, whatever, the defense went right out the window at that point.
It is what it is. I mean, I couldn't she didn't really want to hear what I had to say anyway. So
Even in defeat, no accountability. Kimberly, on the other hand, stood firm.
You think he tried to hide it from you?
I did.
When asked if there was anything to Christian's version of events, she didn't hesitate.
I got the estimate the next day, so I brought it right in.
And the final sting. When asked if Christian was at least scratch good with cats, Kimberly shut it down.
No.
A final burn to end the trial. Let this be a warning to anyone thinking of doing a favor. Get it in writing and maybe think twice before letting someone stay in your house unsupervised. Christian Dell thought he could get away with a tiny scratch. Instead, he got publicly humiliated, exposed for dodging responsibility, and hit with a full judgment. From the garage to the courtroom, the truth always finds a way out. If you enjoyed watching this one-man wrecking crew get dismantled in court, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We've got more no-nonsense justice coming your way. See you in the next breakdown.